Hello everybody, today I'm here to do my February 2014 wrap-up. We survived February. The first book that I ended up finishing during February was The Siren by Kira Cass. Thank you so very much, Maud, for getting this for me. I loved it. Then I finished rereading Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I have linked the video that I did last summer reviewing it. So if you guys are interested in hearing my original thoughts, now you can hear some of my refreshed thoughts. I didn't enjoy it as much as the first time I read it, but I still really enjoy reading Lewis Carroll's poems and his lyrical writing. It's just nonsense and it's beautiful. It's at its best. From there, I read Impulse by Ellen Hopkins. This was my first Ellen Hopkins, and it was actually the February pick for the RTBC. I have linked all of the relevant videos for the Roundtable Book Club, and I have linked Maud's channel, which is Reading Miss Froggy, in the description box, as well as the live show discussion that she and I had over this book. But I kind of fall in the in-between stages of love and hate, because I didn't absolutely love this book and I didn't absolutely hate it either. Probably the last part of the story was my favorite because the ending was brilliantly done. Ellen Hopkins has a way of not wanting to toss the book at you, but actually being very informative and very educational about what she is talking about. And she really doesn't shy away from what it would be like where these three youth were, such as coarse language and using some sexual references. I'm not really that keen on reading that kind of stuff, but Ellen Hopkins has a way of not really hiding it from the readers, which I have to say, good job, because it's a very tough subject to handle. Then I wanted a lighter read, so I picked up The Marriage Mistake by Jennifer Probst. Then I went to read an Alex Rider novel that I had set aside, but I realized I couldn't remember everything from the third one, so I decided to reread Skeleton Key by Anthony Horowitz. And I'm not planning on reviewing this, but I enjoyed it so much more the second time, and I loved it the first time, but I just don't know what it is. Every single time I read it, it gets my heart pumping, and I feel really excited and really happy and giddy, and it's really wrong and inappropriate at times when I get all happy and excited about something, because usually it's a very dangerous scene, and it's one that has my heart pumping, and I'm worried that the main character is going to die. And this one is definitely no exception. Then I finished Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There by Lewis Carroll. And right after I finished that, I sat down for about a good hour and read Alice in Verse, The Lost Rhymes of Wonderland by J.T. Holden. Final book for the month, which was Eagle Strike by Anthony Horowitz. So good. This one was absolutely amazing. I don't know how to describe this series to you, except for stating he's like a young James Bond. He even has a Q. His name is Smithers, and I love Smithers. He is probably my second favorite character because mine all move around a lot. Anyway, this one was brilliantly done. It wasn't just a thriller and an action story. It had this psychological twist to it, and there were so many turns in this story that I was not expecting, that this has to be my favorite out of all of the series so far. So that was everything that I read during February. Now I'm going to show you all of the movies that I watched in February. Again, if I don't show you the cover, it means I don't actually own a copy of it myself. Taking 5, released in 2007. This was a rewatch. Last Chance Harvey, released in 2008. The King of Fighters, released in 2010. Red Riding Hood, released in 2006, and this was a rewatch. The Secret Garden, released in 1987. Back to the Secret Garden, released in 2001. The Best Offer, released in 2013. Solomon Kane, released in 2009. I rewatched Sabrina from 1997, and from there I rewatched Simply Irresistible from 1999. Sabrina from 1954, and then I rewatched 3 more films. The Truth About Cats and Dogs, released in 1996, The Beautician and the Beast, released in 1997, and the last rewatch was 101 Dalmatians from 1961. Big Mamas, Like Father Like Son from 2011, and then I rewatched pretty much all of the last movies that I have to speak about. The first being Angels in the Outfield, released in 1994, The Biggest Fan, released in 2002, Angels in the Infield, released in 2000, The Great Mouse Detectives, released in 1986, Labyrinth, released in 1986, definitely a good year for movies, and Alice in Wonderland, released in 1999. Then I watched for the first time Kong, King of Atlantis, released in 2005. And the last 2 films I watched, I was actually rewatching both of them. Babes in Toyland, released in 1986, and Pride and Prejudice, released back in 2005. If you guys are interested in hearing a sentence or 2 of my thoughts with regards to each and every one of these movies, then you can click the description box and open it up, and I have included those. And should you have any further questions that you would like to ask with regards to the movies, or if you would like to request a movie talk on any of these movies, then please do so in the comments down below. I love talking to you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, go and pick up a random book and read. Bye guys.